Hello viewers, welcome back to Daily Retro. Today we've got another episode of retro gaming news and additions for you all. So quite an interesting month, a fair bit to go through. Not as big a news front this time round, just because it seems to be winding down for the winter sort of thing when companies are not necessarily making as much new hardware as they necessarily were earlier in the year. Or announcing earlier in the year I should say really. So the first piece of news is a controller kit called the Super GC Plus. So this is a GameCube / Wii controller mod for an old SNES / Famicom controller. It's priced at $35. It's made by a company called 4Layer Technologies. And this is just another, this is kind of like a bespoke sort of want for some people. So the D-pad on a lot of the third-party controllers you get for the GameCube that are sort of playing 2D games, or even on the Wii even, they're not the best. So this company has sort of worked around that and given you the option to use an original SNES or Famicom controller and put a new circuitry board inside it, new wiring, and then you're able to connect it to your GameCube and Wii. I think $35 is fairly high for this sort of thing, but if you've got that need, then it will definitely be worth it. But yeah, that is the first piece of news. Second piece of news is on the Mister Multi-System. So Mister is obviously an FPGA solution, has been around for quite a while now, I think 6-7 years, sort of in the limelight even. So it's made by, the Mister Multi-System is made by a company in Stroud who run Arcade Archive as well and have the computer museum. But they sold the multi-system a couple years ago and have since put the plans out for open source. What this means is other companies are now able to recreate that PCB and obviously create systems from it. So if you're unfamiliar with the multi-system, it basically means you plug in the Intel FPGA board into the multi-system, and then you have a complete working retro gaming FPGA solution. So it has all the RAM you need on it, it has all the ports for your controllers, it has digital outputs and analog outputs, and it's one that's considered one of the best FPGA solutions out there. So the news on this front is that this product as a whole, as an actual kit, is going to be available on Ultimate Mister. So this is a Portuguese website, obviously European website, and what it means is people around the world will be able to order a complete Mister Multi-System, which you could not do previously. You could only buy the board itself. They are still going to be offering just the board itself, but yeah, the fact that they're doing the kit is the main piece of news there. It's going to be priced at €500, so it is a relatively expensive piece of kit, but not a lot more than you would pay for, say, an analog pocket and the dock. So it really depends what your preference is on that front, if you want to invest more in FPGA gaming. So finally on the news front is something called the Mega Switch HD. So this is a HDMI output mod board for the original Genesis or Mega Drive Model 1. And what this does, it was complete news to me and I didn't even know it was possible, but there are some digital buses on the Mega Drive. Previous mod boards for the Mega Drive have sort of done upscaling via taking the analog outputs and obviously conversion and upscaling to digital, and obviously HDMI is digital, but what this kit does is actually a digital to digital output. So it's unique in that sense that it's not doing any conversion there, so it should have the lowest latency of any HDMI mod for the Mega Drive. And that was really interesting to see. It's made by an independent in Ukraine. I'm not sure how they're still sending worldwide because of what's going on there, but anyway, it's priced at $150. As of time of recording, it's out of stock, but as with most things, when the demand is there, they will obviously try and make more batches. So that's priced at $150, which again is fairly expensive, but if that's your want for your Mega Drive, then it's a very good solution. So we'll move on to the pickups. There's a fair bit to go through this month, mainly sort of cheaper pickups, but so at the start of this month I was quite excited to receive this. I've done a video on it since, and that is the 8BitDo Retro receiver for the PlayStation 1 and 2. These are priced at 18 UK pounds, or I believe $20 US, and obviously you put them into your PS1 or 2, and then you're able to use more modern Bluetooth controllers such as the DualShock 4 or the DualSense or the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. So that is a very good solution, but there are a few teething issues with it at the moment. The firmware has to be updated for it to work with memory cards, which is a bit stressful, to be honest, but I'm sure a firmware update will fix all those issues in the future. So I wouldn't recommend getting one today, if you see my point. And then soon after that we had a delivery of this, which I was very excited for. So that is the 8BitDo joystick. Obviously I've already fitted this and I have a video for fitting it. It was literally a plug and play install, so I literally just had to unscrew all the screws on an N64 controller, pop out the original joystick, and this plopped into the exact same port. No soldering required. It was literally just flick it out and literally push it back in. So I'm really happy when those sorts of mods come around, because they're just so simple, but also there's no butchering of the original hardware, if you see my point. So this was priced at $20, I think, so I think that is very reasonable. It's a Hall effect joystick, so basically a modern joystick that will not ever get stick drift. And yeah, I've had a few plays on it with Rogue Squadron on N64, and yeah, it's so good. Highly recommend it for anyone who loves their N64. So next up is a couple of just cheap CEX pickups. I went on the bus with my almost 2-year-old son now to town on a few Wednesdays that I've been off, and just right outside is a CEX of the bus stop in town, so I always sort of try and pop in if I can. But I generally only buy cheaper stuff from CEX now, just because you don't generally see that stuff in the retro game shops. So anyway, Colin McRae Rally 2005. This was £2, so incredibly cheap. And obviously, being from CEX, there are multiple copies of it, so I was able to choose a very nice condition copy. And then, actually, today, as of time of recording, I picked up Grand Theft Auto 4, which I already own, but only as a platinum. It was my only platinum PS3 game, and just wanted a non-platinum version, really. That's £3.50. And again, very nice case condition. The disc is also very good condition, as it should be with a Blu-ray. If any of my viewers are interested / want it, then you're very welcome to take this off my hands for absolutely no money at all. I'm happy to even post it for free. So if you want a platinum copy of GTA 4, then please let me know. It's kind of pointless taking it to a retro game shop for what price I would get for it. So anyway, we've got some eBay pickups now. So these are mainly rally games that I'm sort of finding hard to get, especially in good condition. So this is Pro Rally 2002. I think this was very cheap. I think this was £2.70 on eBay. It was £3, and then they sort of offered a 10% discount, so I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll take that. I haven't actually played it yet, but I've already sort of taken the ROM off it, ready to put on my PlayStation 2 hard drive. And that's the same case with this next one. So this is Rally Fusion, Race of Champions. More of an arcade sort of racing rally game, so you actually race against other competitors on the stage rather than just on your own. But yeah, as you can see, it's got an old game pre-owned sticker on there, so I thought I'd just keep that on there for nostalgia purposes. And that was £3 again. And then lastly, on the rally game front, you can sigh of relief, let's say. So that is Game Boy Advance Colin McRae Rally 2. So I used to own this as car only and just wanted a nice boxed upgrade. So this was £10 on eBay. I think that was very good. The box is in amazing condition. I know the box protectors do hide a multitude of issues, but when I took this one out, it was literally 99% perfect. And yeah, really chuffed with that. So yeah, that'll be sitting proudly in the rally collection. And then finally on the pickups front is probably the biggest, most exciting thing that some of you may have seen at the Black Country Games Fair a few weeks back. So that is my Analogue Pocket glow-in-the-dark version. Obviously, clues in the name, this is a glow-in-the-dark version of the Analogue Pocket. It sold out in 2 minutes on the Analogue website. I was very lucky to get one. But I already had the Analogue Pocket white version. I have since sold that for £290, and this cost me £310, including import tax and shipping. So it's basically cost me £20. So I'm pretty chuffed with that. It was just nice to have a limited edition of it. It's a homage to a glow-in-the-dark Game Boy Pocket that was only released in Japan. And I think it is very nice, and when you're playing it in the evening, which a lot of people like me would be doing, is actually really cool. The glow-in-the-dark doesn't interfere with the screen, I wouldn't say at all. And yeah, just chuffed to have a limited edition of a console that I absolutely love. So that's it for this month's pickups. Just going off what I was saying earlier about if anyone wanted my GTA 4 Platinum copy, people are also welcome to Juiced, which is a Platinum version on PS2. Obviously it is very good condition, I don't get anything that's not. And a cart-only version of V-Rally on Game Boy Color. I have since again got a boxed version of that. It's in very good condition. So if people do want those games, then please let me know. It'll be a first served. Let's twisting my words today, but yeah, it's been a tiring month. So if you do want those, please let me know. Yeah, it's been a busy month. I've been going for promotion at work, so I've been sort of busy on the work side of things, obviously. And Caden's just tiring me out on Wednesdays. I'm actually recording this on a Wednesday, so hopefully I don't appear too overly tired. But yeah, it's a tiring Wednesday when it's just me and him. He's currently napping and he has about an hour and a half nap, so I have time to do this recording, and then I generally do the editing in the evening, which I find fairly relaxing. So yeah, it's a nice thing to do on a Wednesday. But that's all for this episode. If you've enjoyed or want to comment on anything, please let me know. If you've enjoyed watching, then please feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you very soon for another episode. Cheers.